ask you something, and I need you to be honest, not with me, but with yourself, right? So when you walk into a room that's full of other black people, what thoughts come to mind? How do you feel? Whatever your answer is, wherever that came from, let me know, because none of us were really born looking at each other this way. We learned it. The question is, who taught it to us? Well, that's the whole episode. This is Society Breakdown. Peace, and blessings. What's good? This is your boy 7 Inglewood Zone right now in your zone, and this is another episode of Society Breakdown, where we do a little bit of analysis into the cultural diaspora. And today is no different, because today we're looking into things that kind of, I guess you could say something that's a little bit uncomfortable to talk about. And I don't mean uncomfortable in the sense it's like an uncomfortable date or anything like that. I mean more like an uncomfortable question where you know the answer, but you don't really want to say it because you don't know how it's going to be taken when you let it be known. But either way, let's get into it. 400 years of somebody telling you what you're worth does something to you.
A cotton plant is like this tall.
Yes.
I'm saying, no offense, brother. I'm just saying.
No offense taken.
What?
I mean, you don't come out on the other side with a clean mirror. You come out seeing yourself through somebody else's eyes.
I'm strong, y'all. I'm very strong. I can sleep in a bucket.
I'm fast. I got stamina.
I know I don't look it, but
and I know magic.
Like, you all of a sudden are seeing their prescription through your frames.
I want those things you see through.
And I don't mean it like in the sense of self-hatred. I mean, it's more subtle than that. Like, we get so good at anticipating other people's judgment that we started doing their job for them to the point that we're policing each other, grading each other, and using standards that were never ours to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And for me, there's a term for that. I like to call it borrowed eyes, and you can call it whatever you want. You can say you know looking through somebody else's whatever, using somebody else's judgment, whatever. But I just like to frame it as a thing, so I'm gonna just call it this thing, borrowed eyes, right? And that just means that we started looking at ourselves through the lens of the people who oppressed us. and it's like the wild part is like we do it to each other without even noticing that we're doing it anymore. I'll give you a prime example. Like, if you are familiar with anything within Greek life and you know what an AKA is, then you may be familiar with what is called the brown paper bag test, right? That came up in the early 1900s, where they literally held a paper bag up to somebody's skin to decide if they were light enough to be accepted into society, right? And that's not something that white people did to us. That's something that we did to each other. But why do we do that? Because we adopted that hierarchy. We adopted that as some sort of level of importance that said that your proximity to whiteness elevates your worth or establishes what your worth is. So you're using their ruler, their measuring stick. And we see that today when somebody tells a black kid that they talk white for using complete sentences. That's the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we learned their language so well that we forgot that we the ones that's speaking it. So I started this out with the question of, like, when we look at each other, whose eyes are we looking through when we see each other? Who do you see when you see your brother across from you? When you see that sister? What are you looking at? What do you see? What do you really see? Because when you're using somebody else's eyes, you're using that vision to judge people. And thereby you're deciding who gets grace in your book based on that filter. So with that, you get to decide who gets to make a mistake and who gets to come back. Like who gets written off on the first one and who gets to be like, oh, no. Redemption story. It's complicated, right? Like some people are allowed that, have that leniency. And some people, hey, we don't give them that much rope. They can only be perfect. You dig? And I don't know. I guess I want to talk about that failure part specifically, right? Because we love black excellence. Boy, I mean, let somebody's child get into Harvard. We don't even know how much Harvard costs. We don't know what the kid is majoring in. We don't even know if they can boil an egg. We don't know what they can do. We don't even know if they really want to go to Harvard. All we know is we going to be the first one to make that post. Young king, young queen, do it for the culture, right? All of that. We love excellence. Failure? Not so much. Shh. We don't talk about that. Like, we can't talk about that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't know you anymore. Because, hey, I've noticed sometimes we'll cancel the ones that we shouldn't, and then we'll let the other ones ride. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll already have a redemption story for the other ones that we wouldn't even let slide for our own. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I don't know. That math don't be mathing sometimes. Like when I see us, like, putting on the cape and saying, this is the one that he's one of the good ones. Like, what are you doing? What are you even doing? And then they say because you use a certain tone in your articulation, and because you decide that you would rather not be so guttural in your speech, that somehow you're now speaking white, which is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, and I won't even go into make it like that, but it's like a black kid who, you know, excels academically, right? He'll get accused of betraying the whole community because he knows how to conjugate a verb. It is like I don't understand that. Who decided that struggle was more authentically black than excellence? Who said that? And for real, and let me just put this out there right now. For anybody out there who got a podcast or anybody who decides that they have a platform and they want to make a major statement, if you think it is important for you to step up out there and spit out between your pearly whites that ignorance is more important than education, I will beat your oh my God. I can't stand y'all. I can't stand y'all. I promise I can't stand y'all. Anybody who's pushing ignorance, pushing or who would rather not have their child be more educated than they because of reasons. Oh my gosh. Keep your ego in check and let that child live. Quit playing. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you even doing? I'm sorry, I just got to get off that. But going back to this active white thing, right? I grew up in Inglewood, and I knew people who was working hard as hell every damn day who was not trying to be any less black than they already was. They was just trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like, excellence is black by itself. I don't care what nobody say. Mr. Williams down the street, working 2 houses down, working for every single day to provide for his 6 kids. He wasn't doing that because he was trying to be white. He was doing that to provide for his 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, but are we allowed? Are we provided that grace? Do we provide that grace to one another to say, hey man, this man just trying to do his thing? It shouldn't take an act of Congress to get somebody to show some respect to somebody who's just trying to live. And I'm talking about us among us, because let's be real. It's a lot of street niggas who will be on some, hey, oh, you trying to get educated? Oh, okay, you trying to walk through my hood with your educated ass? Fuck your education, nigga, little pussy. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong, there are those of us who will also be like, hey, no, that's little homie. You know what I'm saying? We trying to protect him so he can do something that we ain't trying to do. Let him do his thing. And I see that more and more. But I honestly just, listen, we need more of it. It should always be that. It should always be that. It should always be exalted when somebody's trying. For real. Not on some scammer shit. Hey, y'all keep that scammer shit to yourself. But I'm just saying, when somebody's really trying, let them try. Let Kanye try. He don't have to be just right once a day. You know what I'm saying? Or when you say that he's right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can let R. Kelly out on work release and he can do, like, you know what I'm saying, concerts on the weekends or something. I don't know. All right. Let me get off that. So look, everybody wants a Black Wall Street. Everybody talks like, you know, Black Wall Street, you know, all this stuff, right? But ain't nobody trying to be a Black Wall Street for real, because if they were, then I think the actions would show that. right? Black Wall Street wasn't built just because somebody made a hashtag. Them niggas, they had bills. You know what I'm saying? They didn't just have a hashtag and it was like, oh, okay, we just go. No, they had stuff they had to do. And it was a daily practice, right? And we'll sit there and say, support black business. And then we'll get mad because the fries took 6 extra minutes. My brother, Chick-fil-A had you parked at spot number 14 yesterday. Slow down. A lot of us treat solidarity like it's a party, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? We show up when it's lit. We get there for the big moments, and we show up for the march and the post, the protest, and we'll put up the fist, and we got the color on our profile and all that stuff, right? We'll put all that stuff up, right? We come to the cookout. We say who's allowed to come to the cookout, all that good stuff. Then we go home, right? We go home, then we realize the party's over because a party ain't a house.
And a house is not a home when there's no one there.
Saying Luther, a house is something you build together, right? Brick by brick, day by day. It ain't trying to go viral. And look, maybe that's a problem for a whole other day. But look, we got to stop looking for the shine and just stick to the damn grind. Like we ain't ready for the limelight if we ain't got our mind right. And I ain't trying to spit, but that was kind of hot.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
But no, I'm just meaning that we got to be about us. You know what I'm saying? Because being about us is the right thing to do, not because somebody is paying us financially or in praise. So that money that you spend at that black business when it would have been easier to go somewhere else stays home, right? That time that you give to a person who is in your community, who has some talent but no network, now their talent gets expanded. But none of that goes viral. But that referral that you give, right? That referral can become a hiring. And that hiring becomes a job and a career. And that career becomes, a mentorship for somebody else. And now you get 10 more hirings. That's how you build a Black Wall Street, as a daily habit of people deciding that time and money would circulate among us first. Look, I'm going to be honest, because I don't do this feel-good lying shit, right? Integration gave us access, and it cost us that ability to build at home. So in a way, we fell for the okie doke. We stopped going to the chitlin circuit because the white man's auditorium has air conditioning, you see? Like, we stopped going to the Negro leagues and supporting them because the white man's version might be on TV, and maybe, just maybe, I'll be seen too. How's that different from today? We don't want to acknowledge those of us with that quick to sell out mentality and how many there are amongst us. But for real, you got Huey P's and then you got COINTELBROs among us, hardy plants and weeds. Sometimes it just takes the right amount of exposure for them to be who they already gonna be any damn way. While you're at it, please refer yourself to my Because Racism series, found on all platforms. So we need to be diligent. Don't just distrust, analyze. Like, it's one thing to send your daughter to a HBCU because we have no alternative college solutions for her right now. But it's another thing to send your D1 eligible child to an HBCU instead of the PWIs that are heavily recruiting her. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not sitting there telling you where to send your child, but I am asking what goes into that decision and whether they're recruiting her heavily is part of the conversation or if that's the whole conversation. Because look, think about it. What does your dollar do over there versus over here? We gained the right to spend anywhere. And in that, we lost the practice to spend with one another. So the question ain't about, nigga, where you can go with your visa. It's everywhere you want to be. We already know that part. We fought too hard for all of that. We know that you can spend everywhere. Okay, great. But where are you building? Because I want to know, will we choose each other even when we don't have to? Because look, we built incredible things when necessity forced us to do it. Imagine what we could build out of choice. But that's where we're going to leave this one. Make sure you let me know what you think about this and all the other content I have down in those comments down below. Hit the like, share, subscribe, share this out with your peeps if you would, please, and thank you. And please make sure you take care of yourself and others until next time. I've been your boy 7, and I'll see you then. Peace, and I'm out.